Breaking news, people, breaking news. Wisconsin was still on the board, but we're still trying to figure out how Wisconsin was going to approach things, what they were going to do with their voting. Voting was scheduled for Tuesday, April 7th. 84 delegates in play. Up until today, polls were going to be open, and then we get this. Member and supporter of the show and moderator for the 10 Black Speak On It group, Buck Bailey, he sent me this link. It's to an article on commondreams.org. Wisconsin governor finally moves to postpone state's primary elections, shifts to vote by mail. So that's the update. Wisconsin has moved, and they're going to move to a vote by mail, which is similar to what other states like Ohio have done. Governor Tony Evers called on the state legislature to meet for a special session Saturday to take legislation to postpone the Democratic primary along with state elections set to take place April 7th. After facing mounting pressure, including calls from public health officials, voting rights activists, and presidential candidates Bernie Sanders, Democratic Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers finally on Friday called on the state's Republican-led legislature to hold a special session. They did this Saturday afternoon to take up legislation that would delay the state's Democratic primary and a number of state and local elections to take place Tuesday, April 7th. The legislation Evers wants lawmakers to consider would allow an all-male election. All-male election. Not female or male, no gender, mail-in election. And this is following the lead of 15 other states which have postponed voting in Democratic primary due to the coronavirus pandemic, which are spread to more than 258,000 Americans. Wow. The state would be ordered to send mail-in ballots to every voter who hasn't already requested one by May 19th, and voters would have until May 26th to return their ballots. Republican state lawmakers are insisting the election go forward as planned. In addition to the Democratic primary, Wisconsin voters are set to cast ballots in several local elections, Supreme Court race. A victory for current Justice Daniel Kelly will preserve a 5-2 conservative majority. So, the state party, a number of mayors, Senator Bernie Sanders, and voting rights groups all called for Evers and the state legislature to halt in-person voting to protect Wisconsin residents. But Sanders' opponent in the Democratic race, Joe Biden, former vice president, had not joined the call to halt the elections. In fact, guys, Joe Biden did more than not join the call. He made the case for why they should continue.
The scientists, a convention having tens of thousands of people in one arena is very different than having people walk into a polling booth with accurate spacing to 6 to 10 feet apart, one at a time, going in and have machines scrubbed down. But I do think there are going to be a lot more. I think you could hold the election as well, dealing with mail-in ballots and same-day registration. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be done. That's for the Wisconsin courts and folks to decide. But I think it's possible to do both, to have both more mail-in ballots. People, and today is the last day, I guess, till 5 o'clock to ask for one. There's an hour time difference from where I am in Wisconsin. And I think it could be done based on what I've been hearing from the news and what I understand the governor and others are saying. But that's for them to decide.
I mean, just so we're clear what we're dealing with here, so everyone's up to speed. This is the same campaign, Joe Biden campaign, that had Simone Sanders going out on I think it was MSNBC, before Florida's vote. And she said, according to the CDC, we're good to go. We can still hold in-person voting. The CDC said it's okay. Actually, it hadn't said it was okay. In fact, Simone Sanders and Joe Biden's campaign knew that there was a guidance handed down by the president and the CDC about the 10 feet apart rule. Remember the 10 feet apart rule? That's the distance we should keep from one another. Very hard to do that in polling places. So there was no directive that everything was going to be fine and people should go head out. And we know subsequent to Florida's going on with proceeding with their election, we know that there's some poll workers who have contracted the coronavirus. Now, I can't tell you for certain if those people contracted it during the polling, but I wonder where else they could have been where so many people were gathered at one time. So I think it's quite possible that at a polling facility, being a poll worker, you were putting your life on the line. Let's just hope that those poll workers who were exposed and who did contract the coronavirus will be okay. So back to my point. So we got Joe Biden, the candidate that everyone, everyone from The View, many of these Democratic former campaigners, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, have come out to support. He's fine with people putting their lives on the line in order to cast a vote when they could push it back. This is even after the very DNC has pushed back the Democratic Convention. Democratic Convention has been pushed back to the week of August 17th in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. The committee that announced that pushback announced that on Thursday. So this is well in advance of Joe Biden here still making a push, bullheadedly, knuckleheadedly, stubbornly, thirsting, trying to get the nomination, thirsting to get this process over. Very much like Whoopi Goldberg and Alyssa Milano. The thing that frustrates me, guys, and I'm sure it frustrates other true supporters of Bernie Sanders, is that I haven't seen ridicule of Joe Biden the same way I've seen it of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has never been, hey, guys, just go out and vote, it'll be okay. He didn't say that in Florida. In fact, he said in Florida, if you want to go vote, I understand, you're really taking a risk. You're taking a risk going out and vote. Now, that was right at the break of the pandemic, right as it reached our shores, right as we started to hear of cases. And he still wasn't like Joe Biden is today, which was all the way up until yesterday, hey, guys, there's no going out and voting, being at polls, they'll be fine, they'll wipe down the equipment, just go ahead out there and vote. I just see a hypocrisy so present by people who can't stand Bernie Sanders for one reason or another. There were people calling him a Nazi, people saying that he was betraying the people because he was allowing the election to go on. I'm waiting. You know what I'm waiting to see, guys? I'm waiting to see the glowing videos. I'm sure that's going to come forth from all those when they want to report that Bernie was the one who got this done. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking it's adequate. I mean, if you can ridicule him because you say he didn't come out strongly enough against the Florida vote, and now he comes out strong enough to the point where they halt the vote in Wisconsin, I mean, shouldn't you applaud him for that? Shouldn't you wouldn't something ethically make you want to be fair and say, hey, there you go, Bernie, you got it done. Way to go, Bernie. You stood with the activists and you got it done. We got mail-in ballots. Who knows how many lives you will have saved? Who we fooling? They're not going to give Bernie Sanders any credit. The money's not in giving Bernie Sanders credit. The notoriety is not giving Bernie Sanders credit. Neither is this wave of anti-Bernie sentiment that some people are writing. Alyssa Milano, The View, Whoopi Goldberg, and the like. So here's the deal, guys. I just want to update you real quick on the other voting places. Other voting states and what they have adjusted to. A few of those, okay? Wisconsin, as we just noted, going to mail-in ballots in May, right? Did they give an actual date? May 26th. State will be ordered to send mail-in ballots to every voter by May 19th. Votes would have until May 26th. May 26th for Wisconsin. Alaska has mail-in ballots only. They were due to vote on the 15th. Wyoming, mail-in ballots only. They were due to vote on the 17th. April 26th, Puerto Rico. Looks like Puerto Rico going to have their polls open anyway. April 28th, Ohio. Mail-in ballots only. And I think we'll leave May out for now in June. May and June out. But the DNC was applying pressure to these states. Something else that they were doing that I thought was very underhanded. Tom Perez and crew were applying pressure on states to hurry up and get their primaries over with by a certain date, by like June, I think it was, or they were going to face losing some delegates. I think it's safe to say that there are people who are more concerned with pushing, shoving Joe Biden through the door of a nomination than they are the actual lives of their constituency. And that's not just evidence in the way this vote is handed down, but their lack of support for Medicare for All. We got the candidate that supports the policy that can make a major difference in the lives of people, especially now. I mean, especially now. And still, the only thing they care about is hurrying up this vote to get Biden in there as soon as possible, because Lord knows we wouldn't want Biden to talk more. We wouldn't want to make the mistake of Biden being in front of people and saying things. I'm feeling good. You feeling good? Everybody okay? Everybody's safe, right? All right. I'll see you soon. Much love to you, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. Hashtag not me us. Hashtag Bernie only, baby.